Johannesburg. They come from a family business. That's a 3-generation family business. They're in the plastics related industry. Fantastic young men. I was very surprised with the idea that came up. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and then I'm going to let the gentleman talk about his idea and where it came from, how it came from, etc. In essence, he came up with a phenomenal idea. He saw that when you have your food delivered at home, it's amazing in the content that you have a Uber Eats or you have a Mr. Delivery or someone on a motorbike delivering your stuff. So when that happens, as you well know, you guys have been driving around, and those that have cars or have been passengers in cars, you'll notice that sometimes you just don't see these Uber guys, or sometimes you just don't see these guys on Mr. Delivery. They're just driving, and all of a sudden they appear in front of your car like Bambi. And once they're there, you got to slam on the brakes, and people shout each other and all of that. But why I'm telling you this is because they came up with a product where there's two great opportunities in it. One is to protect the guy who's driving the motorbike, and I'll explain to you just now how. And the other is actually to do mobile advertising using LED screens on a specific type of box that they've designed, these two young men, that goes onto the Mr. Delivery, that's insulated, made of good materials, but also has three sides of an advertising campaign. It also will in the future, I believe, and I haven't got the box here for you today. I have had a look at it. It does exist. It's fantastic. It makes sense. It's real. Uh, but it also will allow for people to know and recognize one of these delivery trucks or delivery motorbikes at night, particularly when it's more dangerous, and allow that to become a safety device where they can be seen. At the back, when he stops, you'll see a big stop sign. I hope, please God. But more importantly, the opportunities for them to utilize that moving space of that motorcycle to advertise on. Now, it doesn't only need to be for food products. It can be for products across the board on various aspects. It could be food products. It could be other related products. It could be radio station. It could be any advertising that could become valuable for moving. Now, there are approximately 20,000 of these bikes that are running around. And a lot of the times we haven't done the numbers yet, but we're going to do some research as to how many people get injured driving those motorbikes. And I'm sure they're quite a bit, but this will give them a better opportunity. And number two, we're going to work out, what is the best advertising mechanism for it. So this is the young winner. He's only 21 years old, and I'm going to let him talk a little bit about himself, and I'll ask him questions because I think it's his first time here. He's a little bit nervous. He looks like one of my sons. George, George, how old are you? 21.
Yes, 21.
Yeah, great. And what are you studying?
BCom Strategic Management.
No, fantastic. And you in your last year?
Yeah, my final year.
So you got 6 months to go?
6 more months to go.
Fantastic. And you come from a privileged home.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you.
But I'm also very excited to see that you've come up with this amazing idea. But before I go on, I'm going to speak to the older brother. As you can see, he's got the beard and the hair in his face. And this is Douglas. Douglas, tell us a bit about yourself and about your family business.
So we are a family business in the packaging industry. We've been going since 1974. We're coming close to our 50th year to celebrate.
Stop it. I was born in 1974. Just stop it. I'm 48.
Giving away your age.
You're only 48 years in business. Just stop it. And don't call me uncle again. Go.
And we're in manufacturing and distribution of packaging, boxes, plastics, protective goods.
Yeah.
We supply a wide range of industries from your furniture manufacturers through to your logistics companies. And
so you guys come from a bunch of entrepreneurs, 3 generations. Fantastic.
Yes, runs in the blood.
Yeah. What do you think, growing up, what made you so hungry for wanting to be independent and success? And I think, guys, listen to this because these are fellow entrepreneurs. We can learn from them. I could certainly learn from everyone. Tell me about what drives you. Is it because you want to drive a fast car or a nice car? What is it? Tell us.
Oh, it's just to have freedom and to enjoy life and to do what you love every day and enjoy it and not be forced to do something or feel uncomfortable doing something or dealing with people you don't like, working on your own accord.
Writing your own paycheck?
Yes, exactly.
Not having to apply for leave?
Exactly.
You guys know what they're talking about, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. And are you still applying for leave, or is your dad saying
it's questionable? But I mean, it's just for me stemming the motivation to do more was seeing my grandfather, my father, as well as my mother, everybody working towards a common goal, waking up early in the morning, working all hours,
I was worried you didn't mention any woman. Thank God for mentioning your mom.
No, most definitely.
Yes, you know, we forget quickly how important women are in the business structures. They are a very important support structure, because when your home environment is poor, or should I say not poor, but unhappy, unstable, unsatisfactory, your business suffers, your personal life suffers. So that's great. I'm happy to hear that. And you're not married, right?
No,
Oh,
not
so
me.
you're still free. Okay, and you wanted to be free, and you are free. Fantastic. So just to let you know, George studies in Cape Town, and he's the winner with his brother Douglas, and they're going to share the 911 Porsche for the month. He's going to drive it in Cape Town for a while. So if you see him driving around, know that this is George. And if you see him driving around, I hope he hasn't got two girlfriends, because they're going to know about him. This is Douglas. And the guys are going to have lots of fun. They're going to use the money appropriately. Now, tell me, where did the idea come from? Explain that to me.
So it started about a year and a half ago. I've always, like I said, loved entrepreneurship. I've thought of so many ideas, and it sort of just stemmed with brainstorming and thinking. I've always been interested in advertising, and especially mobile advertising. It's always been a passion of mine, and I thought, how could I design a product that would satisfy that and showcase that?
Yeah.
So I was actually in my apartment in first year. I was all by myself, and I
You
just
almost ran over one of those Mr. Delivery.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, good idea. No, I'm kidding. So you were in your apartment.
I was in my apartment, and had many times where I'd be by myself, and I would just think about what I can come up with and what I can do. And this is basically how it all happened. And I hit the ground running and built a prototype. And
Did you phone him because he's your partner?
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
You
that was-
disappear
I
like
phoned
the
him.
genie or
I
what?
said to him, brother, we have a great idea here.
Let's bang it.
Let's bang it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so
So
how did you
that's-
build the box? Tell me about the box.
Well, yeah. So it took a lot of thought process on how we're going to do it and how it's going to get made. And then, a couple months later, we started designing it, and it was made in about 3 weeks, and it was done and operational, and it
Wow.
was perfect.
And how did you organize the LED displays? And did you get it specifically from anyone? Or
Yeah.
Did you import it? Or?
Yeah, so there's a company in Cape Town that I used, and they're very lovely people and good people to work with.
Yeah. Guys, just to let you know that we're at the embryonic stage. We're redeveloping the product. We're re-engineering it. We're making sure that it's durable for the day, the night, etc. We're making sure that it is also safe. And we also will have to inquire and ensure that it meets all the road safety standards, SABS standards, but more importantly, that it doesn't become a hazard itself for on-by traffic or people that are driving and the lights shining in them, etc. It can't be too intrusive. So there's a lot of work to be done, but it's a fantastic idea. We limit our exposure to about 3 million per opportunity. Right now, it's 50,000 rand, and if it passes that test, and if the idea is protected, and we get the copyright and patents for it, which we're going to do together, we then move on to phase 2. That's putting more capital into it, and then we move into building a business. I'm so happy. Thank you very much. Congratulations. I wish you well. Please don't drink and drive. Don't drive over the 120 k's per hour. I did say that, you guys. Got like a few hundred witnesses out there.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
so happy. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the family.
Thank
And
you
I'm
for the
happy to see you
opportunity.
guys. Maybe take a seat.
Thank
so
you
I
so
can
much.
Continue.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy. Guys, this has been a fantastic opportunity for us as well. Are we okay? Are we live? Is everything cool? Great. I'm happy to hear that. So here you go, young guys. Remember, we had a doctor, and Dr. Larry. He was, I think, about 40 something, or maybe in his mid 40s. Am I right, guys? And he was a fantastic doctor. He was creative. We had Xavier, young guy. Now we have even younger guys, 21. Geez, I hope I don't get a great idea from a 15 or 16-year-old, because then I'm going to need their parent to be sitting with me, and we're going to be needing to sell it to you guys. So I think on that, I want to give one more jersey away because we're running out of time. Can we give one more jersey away? Is that all right? Great. And go. What is it? We know the winner. Let's stop pretending. The winner is, and randomly, by the way, is Vusani Pathela. Vusani Pathela. One of my favorite ones. I only wore it twice, I promise. It felt a little bit big for me, so I think it's a 50. But good luck, and thank you, Vusani. We'll get a hold of you and we'll ship it to you. Thank you very much. The winners will look back in 5 minutes. He says, I'll come back in 5 minutes. That's a lie. Let's just move on. So let's get back to the people that we talked about, the questions. Am I missing anything out, guys? Am I cool? Okay, we're great. So we gave our 2 jerseys away. We introduced you to 2 wonderful guys. I'm really looking for more talent. I know that you guys are out there. I know there's good talent out there. I've seen it. I've read it. I know there's hunger. I know that you guys also want to be recognized. I'm going to write back to you. I feel so bad, but there's like 3,000 mails I need to answer, 4,000 mails, and I'm not good at typing. So if you get an email from one of the consultants that work with me, please don't take it personally. It's me actually that have actually looked at it and give them something. Tell them this, tell them that, and we'll do our best to give you constructive criticism where necessary, so that you can better your idea or for us or to relook at. And we can relook at it anytime. So let's move on to the questions, which are important. I want to talk about some people had some questions. Where's my big flashcards? Yeah, I see it. I need that big one. I don't know. Shannon, who's
Batla
supposed to
monna,
be here
you what?
today, seems to think I'm blind. She printed these big things. Like,
O
she
dimile.
forgive me. I need to keep it a meter away from me to look at it. And the first question comes from Z Mathatha. Are we going to get them online? Yeah. Is that Mzi? Ah, fantastic. Hi there, Mzi. How you doing?
Hi, Zunaid, how are you?
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much for making time to come online and talk to us. How can I help you,
Yes.
Mzi? It says here, does who you hang out with shape the businessman you become, I presume? I think so. You know, I have a philosophy. Would you like me to answer what I think, Mzi?
Yes, please
Sure.
go
I
ahead.
think that when you surround yourself by people, you need to be very selective when it comes to business. And someone once told me something very interesting. He was a very wealthy guy. He is a very wealthy guy. He said to me to always try and hang with people that have slightly better infrastructure in their business, or should I say, not infrastructure in their business, but have got a potential for you to grow into their business. In other words, they must be bigger than you. But he was very polite. He said, hang with people that have more than you so that you can benefit out of them, is what he said to me. I didn't understand it as a young man, but I obviously found the understanding because a lot of times once you start making money, I felt that this was the case. You develop like these huge following of people that go all over with you. They go to dinner, they go to lunch, they hang around, they're always with you. The moment you lose your money, they're not there. You know that. It's not something new for people to know. But when you hang with somebody that's got a little bit more than you, whether it's academic wise, whether it's experience and wisdom, or for that matter, money, you can benefit a lot more out of them because they have experience and you can learn a lot from that because those school fees that you would want to pay or have to pay versus what you could learn from them could be a lot cheaper, you know, Mzi. I don't know. What do you think, Mzi? Mzi, are you
No,
there?
I couldn't agree with you more. Yes, I'm here.
And tell
Can
us,
you hear me?
Mzi. Yeah, I can hear you, Mzi. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
So, what is your take on that, Mzi? You got my answer. How do you feel about it, and what business are you in?
I've learned my lesson in life. I became a millionaire at the age of 29, 30,
Oh, wow!
and
Congrats! Yeah.
later in life, I lost it all.
Wow!
And I can agree with you more. It was because of the company I kept, people that I kept, not because, not to say I regret, but it was decisions that I made and it was my own mistakes.
Wow!
And you are 100% correct that when you lose everything, everybody disappears.
Yeah, it's like an Eno, you know. You drink it and then you don't find it after it's gone, you know, in the loo type of thing. But I hear you. I'm so happy to hear that you recognize that it was your own fault and took responsibility for it. But don't worry, brother. You're gonna get up stronger. You got more experience this time, and you can do it again. You must have the recipe. How are you doing at the moment? Is everything cool?
At the moment, not everything is not cool. Thus, I've sent two proposals to you. I hope you meet them along the way.
Yes.
But what triggered this question to you? The relationship that Mr. Hereford and uh, Edison. I
Yes.
was going through that while listening to your TikTok the other day.
Yes.
What you do every day, because now when you no longer have money, you are no longer relevant to people.
Oh, you're
And
invisible.
the only inspiration that one can get is your TikTok motivations and your everyday updates that you update us with, talking to us, encouraging us. That works better because the door to people who are bigger than us, people who are more
Mzi?
financials are currently
Yes.
closed, but you are doing a good job.
Thank you, Mzi. I'm trying my best to give a little bit back. My oldest son's 25, and I can understand that the youth, and I always say this, the today's youth are tomorrow's leaders. I think a lot of people have said that before. We need to really invest in them to make sure that our future is secure. And I hope that I'm adding value in a little way. Sometimes I make you laugh. And I think it's important sometimes when you're at your low just to receive a like, you know what, I needed that, I understand that. But Mzi, thank you very much. God bless you. May you have a better road. And thank you for sharing with us. I hope I answered that question. We're going to go. Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Mzi.
much. Bye.
Thank you for your time, Mzi. Thanks again. The next person we have is Karen. Is that right?
Hi.
Hi, Karen. How are you
Yes.
doing? They're giving me this huge page, but it has so much writing. I must keep it 1 meter away from me. It says, Karen van Heerden, fear of being a failure if I start my own full-time hustle. How do I overcome this? What daily habits have kept you motivated through the years? Wow. It's obvious that you're working somewhere at the moment and you're hustling on the side and so on. Um,
That's true.
I think what keeps me sane is a bit of prayer every day, just to keep me collected, to keep me in control of myself and my emotions. Sometimes they tend to want to run away with me. Sometimes I just get angry. Sometimes I get upset with my family and people just for no reason because I have a lot in my head. But I found that meditation, in your case, or maybe even prayer, is so important to just keep you grounded. It allows you the opportunity to calm down and make good and rational decisions. It's all I can really advise you. That thing's so important. I don't like eating breakfast early, so if you want another tip, like eat it about 10 or 11 o'clock. I think you're not
Intermittent fasting.
yeah, intermittent fasting. But listen, tell us quickly, Karen, what are you doing? What do you do? And what's this idea that you have?
Well, I'm currently full-time employed for an investment consulting firm. I have an idea, but in order for me to pursue it, I would need to resign so that I have funds from my pension fund to obtain this machine. It's quite expensive from the US in US dollars, shipped over, you pay in US dollars. So I know that it could work because there's only one other company that does this in South
Okay.
Africa. But the problem is that I'm just so scared that I'll give up my full-time job where I have a fixed income
Yeah.
to pursue something that I'm not sure will work.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a big capital outlay
Sure.
from my side. So I think that's just the only thing that's keeping me back. I'm tired of working for a boss.
Yeah.
Like you say, you have to apply for leave.
Yeah.
You work with people you don't like. It's just,
You wanna?
you get a silent promotion.
Yeah.
You do everyone else's work. So I think I'm just at a crossroads in my life now
Well, Karen,
where I
it's
want purpose.
yeah, yeah. Karen, it seems to me
Yeah.
that you want to make the rules, and I think you're tired of
Yeah.
following them, is kind of what I'm hearing. It sounds great,
Yeah.
but you don't want to be one of those people that sits behind 2 years down the line, someone else gets your idea, does it, and you look at it somewhere in the television screen or somewhere at an exposition expo and realize, wow, it could have been me. Grasp the
Yeah.
opportunity. You sound still very young. You talked about pension fund. You're making me worried, but you sound like a little bit younger. But take the opportunity. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You could fail and have lots of experience. You got to make sure
That's
that you
true.
take whatever risks are alive to you. Look at then what are the control risks and how do you control those risks. But the
Yeah.
inherent risks you're never going to be in control of. So stop fretting. Those are risks
Yeah.
outside of your control. Take the leap if you think it's necessary or you think you can make it. Make sure you have a good percentage in your mind that you can succeed. 70% is good, 80 is even better.
Hmm.
But and go with it. And please send me your email of your proposal. I haven't seen Karen van Heerden's proposal. Karen, will you send me what that machine is about? Let's look at it together.
Will do.
Maybe it's a great
Okay.
opportunity. Maybe one day I'll be the reason you sign your resignation. So send us the details. Thank you very
From
much
your
for
mouth to God's ears,
from my
Renee.
mouth to God's ears. God bless you and thank you for sharing with us. It was great to have this
Same to
interaction.
you.
Take care, Karen, and you'll send us your
Thanks,
proposal, right?
Renee. I
Thanks.
will. Thank
Right,
you.
great. So we've been to Zimkita. Have we got Zimkita on the line? Huh? We have,
Yeah.
who's this? Terry Sucherin. Is that right? Hello? Hi, Terry.
Hello.
Is that Terry?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello.
Is that Terry?
Yes, that's me.
Hi, is that Terry Sucherin? How you doing?
Yeah, Sharon, I'm doing good. And
Thanks.
yourself?
I know it's late, but thank you very much for coming on board and thank you for your question. May I read your question quickly? It says, What is the best approach to go about reducing your business overheads, ultimately increasing profits? When is it advisable to franchise a small business? Those are two questions. Okay, let me start off with the one. Terry, here's my idea. I found that when you go to people and you say to people, you know what, you must take this business as your own. It's your and our business. And you say to them, please find every way to reduce your costs. Are we okay, girls? Guys, you look concerned. um, you say to your staff, you say, I want you to take this business like your own, and I want you to go out there and make me money and reduce costs. And then they're driving home afterwards and they're thinking, and now, is this business ours? The boss jumped in a 911 Porsche. I'm still driving my Fiat and I'm going home. How is this business mine? How am I part of this business? It's nonsense. If a boss wants you to save costs, and if you own a business that wants to reduce costs, you need to make your people a part of the cost cutting exercise. And I did it when I got back from jail. Sorry, by the way, I wasn't prosecuted. I have to say this. I wasn't prosecuted for anything I'd done wrong. I've never had a criminal record, Terry, by the way. And I have to say this because the media company want me to say it, and it's true. But if you go to your employees and you say to them, guys, I need to reduce my costs. Can you find a way of reducing my cost of sales by going out and getting better prices, by going out and getting better raw material costs, by reducing our overhead and time at work, by reducing fixed overhead and variable overhead, by getting discounts, etc., etc. You can only do it by allowing every single employee to be a part of the saving. So what I did was I made sure that people come every month to see me and management, show me how they've saved me some money, and then I give them 10% of the money back. Okay. Now they're a part of the upside. They're a part of what you want to achieve. You can even give them 20% because the saving you obviously never had. And now you have 80% of the saving and the employee has 20, but they still feel aligned. They still feel like they're working with you. You're working together. You're in this together. They own the outcome with you together. So that's my answer. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Terry.
That makes perfect sense because within the question, I was sort of like adding a consideration in my mind of the unemployment rate and the economic situation in our country. So the fact that you mentioned the employee as a partner is
Yes.
perfect.
Think about it. Most people have overhead in terms of labor as one of the biggest costs in your function of overhead in your income statement. And if you can turn all of those people who you don't like on the 26th to the 30th of the month because it's payday, you don't like those guys because you get there and it goes like, it's payday. Like, okay, fine, put it out of my bonds or whatever it is. But Terry, the bottom line is that if you can turn them into allies and not see them as expenses and people that are just there to waste your money and time. A lot of people go to work and look at the employees and say, these guys are not working hard enough. They will work hard enough, but give them an incentive to do that. If all companies went out and said, reduce costs and be part of the saving, I promise you, there'll be cost saving. It may not be what you expect. It may be even more, but you won't know until you try. But Terry, thank you very much for being on board. I wish you well in your business endeavors. I certainly am not everybody that knows anyone that knows everything. My wife tells me that every single night, and I know that, and I'm prepared to accept that. Have a good night, Terry. God bless you.
Thank you. Good
Cheers, Terry.
night.
Good night. Do we
Cheers.
have Teo? I think the next person online. Ah, we have somebody else. It's Zimkita Bota. Hi, are you there?
Hi, Junaid. I'm here, thanks.
Hi, Zimkita. How you doing?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
I hope you're related to PW Bota. No, I'm joking. How are you doing? I'm glad that you came on show and thank you very much for your time. I'm going to read your question
Yeah.
out, Simkita. How has
Hmm?
being a mentor shaped the way you do business? How has it contributed to your success? Oh man, that's an easy question. You know, everybody thinks they know a lot until they meet young people and until they meet
Hmm.
people that are so dynamic. And those people are young people that have not been sort of indoctrinated with certain ideologies and ways of doing business. The young people are so amazing in that they have different thoughts and different ideas to the conventional stuff that we do. So when I listen to younger people and some old people sometimes that you are in mentorship with, you get really amazed because the ideas they come up with are so simple but so effective.
Hmm.
So for me, I've learned a lot being a mentor to my son, to a few other young boys. I listen to them, I listen to them talk, I learn new ideas, but I never say it to them. And I should, and I am going to from today. I promise you, I'm going to say, well done, Mikhail, well done, Tariq, and all of those type of things because they do deserve, they open up my mind. about a lot of things. The idea that we talked about earlier on about saving money by allowing your staff to be part of the upside. It came about with my young team. They said to us, "We're going to do it, Dad." And this was when I was still running Moti Group myself. And the young boys underneath me said, "Yeah, boss, we're going to do it." And then they walked away, and one guy said, "And what's it in for us?" And then I realized, geez, there must be something in for them. And this is how the idea came about. But Simkita,
Mm,
that's my idea behind it. I hope that you understand that mentorship is a two-way street. It's certainly not a one-way street. I promise you, the new things I learned, the young people have come with such energetic ideas. I'm not such a technocrat and someone who understands technology all that well, a bit old school. But and the issue is they teach me how to get these apps going and how to get efficiency going. And I think that's amazing. And I try my
mm.
best to understand their language. And how does it work for you? What is your thinking on this, Zimkita?
For me, mentorship is very important. I have a great mentor in the name of Dr. Bonang Mohale. I've learned a lot from him. I'm in the manufacturing space in terms of my corporate career. We also have a family business in the transport sector. Um, I've learned that mentorship really shapes one's thinking and ways of doing things. And it's helped me a lot in terms of navigating some challenges in terms of my career and also in terms of personal development. So I was quite intrigued when you started the mentorship program. And my question was brought about the fact that as you know, you're a very positive person. Every morning you've got a lot of positive things to say, but really, who mentors the mentor? Who mentors Zunaid Moti every day? And you've just answered that. You said it's the people around you, it's the family, it's your passion, it's your entrepreneurship, it's your philanthropy, and those are the things that really shapes one's way of doing things each and every day. So your success in terms of where you are right now and where you're heading to really is also underpinned in your passion, which is mentorship.
I
So
think
I was quite happy to see that you're going through this journey with us, and you bring us along more than anything else.
sure.
It's not something that you are just heading ahead on your own, but you are bringing a lot of people along, and thank you for that. Thank
No,
you for
I'm
that.
so
I'll say,
happy to hear that. Simkita,
yeah,
thank you so much. I don't cry often. I'm not going to cry tonight, but I'm really thankful for those beautiful words. And I just, on that note, I still want to reach out to other entrepreneurs and businessmen out there that are CEOs in listed companies and banks and insurance companies and so on, and say to them, please stop talking about this stuff. Put some of your time and effort into the youth and maybe a
yeah,
bit of money. I mean, I'll put organize 30 million to put into this thing. I'm trying to increase it. Please God, I do that with everybody's help and success. And it's the best time I've had in my life. I really am thankful to every one of you that's out there for giving me the opportunity to explore these things with you. Simkita, I hope you have a good night and thank you again for those wonderful words. May God bless you.
thanks, Mr. Moti. God
Pleasure.
bless.
Who else do we have? Are we done? I'm taking this off. My ears are sore. We have two people that were on load shedding. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I can't do anything about that right now, but maybe in the future, please God, we can change that. So we get on to another winner for the jerseys. Jeez, it's hot in here. Um, Suhail Parak and Lucia Pule. Those are the last two. Suhail, I'm giving you my start out jersey. This is so historic. This was the jersey I wore on the first time I went on social media. Please wear it carefully and make sure there's always hot chicks around. No, I'm joking. This is for you, Sohel. I hope you're married. Make sure your wife wears it sometimes too. Please enjoy it. Thank you very much. And then the last jersey is for Lucia. There's only one more. We got Lucia Pule. That's this one. Yeah, Lucia. I think I wore this once. It's so cool. It's got a bit of an African beat to it. I love it. Amazing. And that's for Lucia. Congratulations. Lastly, we have one more winner, which I'm going to give. Yes. Kaskota Musubao. Kaskota, I saved you the Gucci. Nice one. Looks like a bit of a snake in there. I hope you enjoy it and have a great time. Right. How many more minutes do we have? We got 20. Okay, fantastic. So if I beg your pardon, guys. Sorry, guys, I didn't hear you. Who's waiting online? Okay, let's put it. There's one more guy waiting on call. Can I get the? Who is it? Devin. Okay, sorry. One more guy. Fantastic. Devin Thikisho. Thikisho. Am I pronouncing it right, Dev?
It's actually the key show. Salam, good evening, Mr. Moti, fellow listeners and organizers.
Oh, you sound like a.
My name
You sound very cool on the on the radio. Go ahead, Dev.
yeah, my name is Devon, surname Takisho. I'm in the wholesale petroleum space. Recently tried to venture into crushing screening in the mining sector.
Yes.
And my question to you is, it's of course in front of you, uh, but the big word is balance. As a young entrepreneur, I sometimes find it very hard to balance between family, friends, business, and of course faith as well. How do you find that balance, Mr. Moti?
You know, I thank you for the question, Devin. And you sound like a radio producer. Leave this issue about what do they call it, screening, because you could easily, with that voice, become a radio producer. But Devin, thank you for being on the show. And I think it's a difficult thing, very difficult question, actually, to be honest with you. Every day, my answer changes for that question. You know, when you think about things and you put your family first, always in your mind and your heart, and then you want to keep God very much closer to the family, but then you know that there's bills to be paid, then you activate the head and the brain kicks in and says, hey, you need to get moving and you need to get that cash flow right. You know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
So
Yes.
you want to be at home, you want to be with a 2 year old, with a 3 year old, with a, how old is my baby? 13 weeks old. And then something inside your head says, hey, it's the 25th. Tomorrow's the 26th. We got to pay salaries. Let's get moving. So then you got to go out and then find that balance. And that balance is about planning, I think. But, you know, coming back to that, when you plan, you can plan as much as you want, Devin. At the end of the day, God Almighty, and in our way, we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the greatest planner of all planners. It doesn't mean you mustn't put the best effort that you have into play or the best amount of time into what you're doing. But there's some belief that is required for you to give and put in the hands of God. There is an element of that, you know, and you need to be that person to have the faith in Almighty to know that you're giving your best, you're doing your best. Your intentions must be fantastic and clear and good from day one. And I think with those all in acting with one another in sync, you will definitely get success out of it. The problem is,
Wow.
Devin, when you make a lot of cash, what do you want to do with the cash? You've got to ask yourself. If I ask you now, Devin, if you had 100 million rand, what would you do with it? And you'd give me an answer. And after you made 100 million rand and I ask you, Devin, if you had 100 million, what would you do? You'd say to me, I'd be trying to make 1 billion rand. You got to find that balance, and you got to find not only the balance, but in my opinion, you got to find that sweet spot where you find contentment. I think that's important, where you're happy with what you have, where you're not looking and being upset about what you don't have and being worried about what you don't have. Because what you have is here and now, and the biggest commodity, Devon, is what? Remind me?
Time.
Time. Oh, man. You must come work with me. You sound like a person that is certainly got depth. Time is the biggest commodity, man. No amount of time, no amount of money can buy it. No amount of money can buy the trip that my kids went to a play place yesterday that I missed. I received 28 videos and pictures about it, and I felt like I should have been there. So I understand what you're talking about. You got to find that balance. Remember, whatever we have in the world at the moment is really a figment of our imagination, and we have continued uninterrupted use of it while we're on this earth. And the rest of the time, we're creating memories and we're creating a legacy, but we take nothing with us, Dev. So I wish you well. I hope I answered your question eloquently. It's really from my heart, and thank you very much for dialing in.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moti, and thank you for investing back into the youth. We do appreciate it. There's this saying, those who criticize our generation forgot who raised it. So I'm thankful for people like you take time out to invest back into us. Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely. God bless you, Dev. Hope you find that balance, mate. And that was Devin. Thank you very much. Guys, uh, can I take this off now? Is that cool? Thank you very much. I hope I was able to give you guys a better impression. Thank God it's not going to be 1.5 hours because I know you guys are tired of sitting there and I'm tired of talking. But I just want to leave you with some great ideas to work on. Um, there was a particular guy that came along, and this particular guy came on with the idea that I was talking about. And the idea that I was talking about is creating a home environment for you to make your own food and veg and that sort of thing. And I'm working on that actively right now in order to come up with something where I can get one of the entrepreneurs to head it up so that they can create this opportunity for you to reduce your costs at home. The second important thing that I want to talk about is the fact that when you talk about these issues of reducing costs, I know that we're cutting costs all the time because we want to be sustainable in business. And sometimes business doesn't go well. Sometimes you just don't get those contracts that you sign up to do or that you propose to getting. But remain positive. You know, when you go to meetings and you're punting for work and you're punting to get things done, or you're punting for a big job against like a big company, but you're just a one man show, never forget that you are in that race with that big corporate and that there's nothing different to you and them other than possibly a lot more money, a lot more infrastructure, a lot more ideas. But don't let that intimidate you because you may have the winning thought and you may grasp the opportunity against those people at that time amongst many people or entrepreneurs that can see your vision. So don't give up on that vision. I've been in so many of those situations, man, where you go up against big companies and you're punting for the same stuff, and eventually you do get it, and then you walk out of there thinking, geez, what am I going to do now? I remember, as an example, I went to China to sell software in China as a young man. I used to have filling stations. The year was 1998. It was a long time ago. I'm sure most of you weren't even born or you were still at school. My first son was born and I went to China. It was 98 or 99. And I went to, and I seen a company called Sino Petroleum. And I went and I was up against these massive companies from America. And I think the one was from Netherlands. And we're punting for this contract. And I didn't even know how big it was. And I went and I just went humbly. I explained it. I was powerful. I psyched myself up. I spent the night in front of the mirror. I made all those gestures. I did all of that whole stuff. When I got in there, I forgot everything. It was crazy. I was practicing at night in front of the mirror, going this, and that, and this. And eventually, I got in front of these Chinese people. They were amazing. They didn't understand English. And I got in there and I realized, whoa, the language barrier, whoa, slow down. And then I said, listen, I'm dead here because all the other competitors had their documents in Mandarin. They had people and translators who were able to speak. And I said, listen, I got to make this work. And I took a board and I started drawing pictures of the filling station and the truck that comes and so on. And the guys were really more interested in my drawings and my cute little truck and in my explanations. And one of the translators from the other companies were helping me understand. Long story, I won the tender. When I walked out of there, they gave me the right to run and operate over 1,300 filling stations in one little city in China. And I thought I'd go there to do like 10 or 20. I was so overwhelmed. I remember going to immigration in Beijing and I forgot the contract on the desk while I was sending my passport. And as I got past, I then started looking for my stuff. I was just overwhelmed, you know. Uh, and I realized I forgot it. And without thinking, I just ran back. I jumped over the place and I went back to the counter. And obviously, you shouldn't do that, by the way. When you pass the immigration, you must just chill out and you must stay in your space. And there I had all the police on top of me, quarantining me and asking me what I was explaining, look, I need this piece of paper and so on. And eventually when I got home, I realized it was too big for me and I'd bitten too much and I couldn't chew it. And hell, I wasn't going to China because I ate so much jellyfish on that trip. It made me realize that I need to be back home in South Africa. And I felt comfortable. I let it go. So I won the contract against all odds, but I left it and I let it go because I knew it wasn't what I really wanted to do long term. Because it would have emanated into controlling me. I would have been Chinese. We'd been having this discussion out of Beijing. I'd be speaking Mandarin. You wouldn't understand me. So, anyway, that's enough of my story. I want to take this opportunity once again to thank all the participants. I never forget you guys. You're always in my prayers. You're always in my dreams for you to, more particularly my prayers, to make sure that you guys achieve what you set out to do. I don't want you for 1 minute to doubt yourself. It doesn't matter how silly the idea is. Follow it, stick with it, don't give up, and make sure that you don't let people get you down. I think I'm going to be signing off now a little bit earlier. Is there anything else we forgot to tell our people? Shannon? Hey, your business plans. Okay, before I let you go, sorry. Please, 2 pages. Let me know what it's about. Don't forget, tell me what it's about in the concept. Tell me how much you're going to need to the 50 grand and what you're going to do with it. And don't come with this send me 50 grand in 5 jerseys. Stop it. Stop that nonsense. Send me a proper business plan with a good idea, saying to me how much you need to finalize the business concept. Don't worry about the capital. Once we get to the point of understanding how the concept works, we'll worry about the money later. You can see all of these people coming in. The concept's great. I buy it. I like it. I help you mature it, bring it to the level of where implementation. So don't forget, please send it to me. I will look at it. I'm going to have a great, I hope you have a great evening. And I hope that you guys will not stop looking after your best interests, by looking after your future, by making sure that you continue to be perseverant. Now, sometimes it doesn't feel right to continue, but you got to get up. It's not about how many times you get knocked down. Remember that. It's about how many times you're able to stand up after that. I'm signing off. Goodbye. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you have a good evening. Cheers. Bye.